Let's see what people say about me last night on Twitter. Only 2 likes, 2 shares. Let me Instagram my breakfast. Hashtag yummy. Hashtag delicious. I got 4 likes. That's good. Well, let me post a photo of my dog on Facebook. Let's say, oh, puppy love. Oh, I love all those likes. So cheers. Oh my God, I love my social life. I know many of you experience this every day when you wake up. We live in a social economy where all those likes and all those shares are our social currency. Social media has changed the landscape of how we marketers communicate. Consider this, right now, there are more people on Facebook than there were on the planet 200 years ago. IBM estimates that by the end of 2015, there will be more mobile devices than people. Right now in Japan, there are more mobile devices than people. Whether you are part of the occupation movement, the revolution in the Middle East, or the ice water bucket challenge. How many of you have done the ice water bucket challenge? Wow. Whether you are part of the 99% or the 1% or the people in the internet talking, you have a voice. That's what social media has done. One of the real threats that I find to our business today is not the Generation Y, the Generation X. It's the Generation Z that stands for the connected consumer, the connected customer. This Generation Z is not a demographic anymore. It's everybody connected to your brand 24/7. Customers and marketers, people to people. This is really important, people to people. You are the very own person you're trying to reach. If you are doing campaigns, you are updating on social media, and you not get excited about your own updates, you are part of the 98% of the spammers in the web. So don't act so surprised. You are the very own person you're trying to reach. This Generation Z has changed everything. We are the Generation Z. Brands are now people, and people are now brands. It's changing totally the way how people communicate. They are informed, they are demanding, they are empowered. This is an airline that I frequently fly, and I just decided to throw the name on the cloud generator. Just to be sure, I went to their website to see if that is how they describe themselves, and they don't describe any way like that with the words that you see there. Jeff Bezos says something that is extremely true. He says, your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. What is people saying about your brand when you are not on your website? Remember, people don't trust corporate websites anymore. So I'm here to walk you through some 5 critical steps to become a connected marketer and create successful digital campaigns. If I start speaking too fast, you can blame on that chocolate there because my accent gets really crazy after I eat chocolate. So, step number 1, collect. This is one of the most important and critical steps you have when you are creating digital campaigns. How you collect data. You know, you have, in this digital era, especially right now, you need to go beyond Facebook. You know, you need to go beyond Twitter. You need to start thinking how you can reach your fans one-to-one. Here, that is how you collect data through your e-commerce, through your email, through your sweepstakes on social media. Number 2, analyze. After you collect all this data, what you are going to do, how you are going to create a specific personas. So here you are sometimes, and I can give an example, personal myself, signing up for shoe offers. I love shoes. And getting really annoyed because I'm not mentioning any brand, but I start getting emails for applying. That is bad marketing. On today's world, when you collect data, you need to be very smart on how you are going to be using it and how you are going to create specific profiles and knowing your customers, what they like, what they hate. Number 3, decide. Here's where you decide what kind of campaigns you are going to create to immerse your customers, to immerse your sales. Then you're going to say, wow, I love these email campaigns. I don't want, then people get in, they say, I don't want to get them subscribe. Number 4, deliver. This is a critical step. This is where you decide what channels are you going to use. It can be through social media, it can be through email, it can be through your apps, through your website. And 5, manage. This is another critical step, because here is how you decide how you're going to manage the information, the people in your team, the technology. Remember, without a strategy, there is not return on investment. This is a critical, just 5 steps are very critical when you're creating any campaign online. So, it is time for you to ask what you really want when you're creating campaigns. Do you want to inspire? Do you want to learn? Do you want to transform? Do you want to sell? Do you want to change? Are your campaigns so awesome that everybody likes it, everybody cheers, or everybody wishes they have this button? So, you don't want that on your social media campaigns. So, here I want to walk you through some steps on how to maximize your marketing results and campaigns. This is very simple. Integration. If you have digital campaigns today and you're just only working on Facebook and Twitter and not integrating your media, you are failing. Here you have on your page, you have all your television, your website, your direct email campaigns. Under your own media, you have all your Facebook fan page, your brochures. And on media, you have the word of mouth. Under page, you have your strangers. Under your own media, you have your customers. And under your own, you have your fans. The question is how you can get those strangers to become customers and those customers to become fans. The answer is integration. Any campaign that you do on social media needs to be integrated in your email campaign. Any campaign that you do on your email needs to be integrated in all your paid media as well, TV, radio, using hashtags, building campaigns and get people talking. So the recipe to become a connected marketer is very simple. 1, stop. And this is extremely important. If you are part of the 99% of spammers on the web, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to start listening what your customers are saying. You need to start analyzing and learning from that and engaging. I know you noticed that I have a lot of pictures of monkeys and chimpanzees. You know they have an IQ 170, smarter than many of the friends that I have or you have. So, but that makes for a really good conversation for us. So, let's remember the reason why people join social media, why people like you, why people follow you. They want to connect with you. Connection. They don't like you, they don't follow you just because you have a cool name. People want to connect with you, which takes us to ROI, return on relationships. If you want to reach your market with social media ads, then marketing needs to focus on building relationships and metrics. And they go beyond ROI. You need to invest in people. That is extremely important. That is a great book by Ted Robin, Tedrubin. It's called Return on Investment, Return on Relationships, and he talks about the importance of investing in people. And I would suggest for everybody, if you haven't read it, to read it. He talks about the importance of listening. There is too much talking and not enough listening. About making it about the people, to ask how can you serve, to keep the engagement going. And the most important part, and Ryan actually mentioned that in his presentation, know the people in your audience. Do you know the people in your audience? Do you know your fans? Do you know them by name? Do you know what they like, what they love, what they hate? Personalization. This is the key word this year in every social media conference that I have been. Personalization. There is nothing more beautiful when you hear your name, when you open an email and you see your name. Now, when you feel like you are part of an email blast and they send it to 100,000 people and they then use your name. So there is a fantastic quote by Maria Angelou. She says, people will forget what you say. people will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you make them feel. We live in a digital world where people want to be heard. That demonstration that I made when I came to the stage is who we are. We want people to like our comments, we like people to share. And as a brand, we need to engage with our fans. You don't necessarily have to respond every comment, you don't necessarily have to like every comment, but acknowledging under favors, under a like, it's a great way to let their fans know that you love them, that you like them, and that you care what they're saying. Remember, you are more than a strategist. You are a conductor who will orchestrate the change. If you can stop right now, listen, learn, and engage, you will not only see an increase on ROI, but also an increase on ROR, which means a new generation of fans. I think I'm missing, David, two of the slides that I put in the last presentation. And I actually did a revision at the last minute, so I'm missing those slides, and it's okay, I can walk you through. There was in one of the slides something about the 7 key metrics that you need to have in mind, and I can send the PowerPoint for everybody else to see it later. And one was how you can measure the success of campaigns, and one was with the reputation, what people are saying about your campaigns. The sentiment was one of the key ones. And this is something that I really want to emphasize. If you want to go beyond, I know at the end of the day, when you have to bring to your shareholders reports, it's all about return on investment. But again, you have to focus on people. You have to spend time on investing in the relationship. Sentiment is something that brands like, what is the energy drink? Red Bull, they do very well. They focus, they constantly looking at what the people are saying about the brand. So that was my last slide. I'm horrible with these things. My husband always takes away the controls from me because I am terrible. But one thing I really want to focus to everybody is we live some amazing times, and you and I, we are so lucky to be here, to be part of the digital era. I know many of you have the luxury to say where you are, where you were, and have seen all the technological changes. This is your time, and this is the time for all of you, and we have the power to change things. Whether if it's a revolution, or you creating amazing campaigns and getting everybody loving your brand, this is your time. So ladies and gentlemen, the future of this economy is in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sure. I have some questions for you. I'll take that away from you.
Sure.
So, firstly, congratulations on the accent. It's beautiful.
Oh, congratulations to you.
I was sitting there thinking, I was eating, so I still had the Woodies in my mouth, and I was thinking, that accent.
Okay.
Heath.
I don't want to look down.
But I was eating it, and I was thinking, the accent, I was thinking, wow, like, Jenny has an accent kind of like a caramel praline. You do. I was like, these are the same things. It's the same sensation on my lips as in my ears. Sorry. This is me flirting, by the way. I don't know if you've ever...
Yeah.
No, now I feel embarrassed. I was wondering if you could enlighten us to an example of, at Remington Park, like a real-world example of when you listened and then spoke to the audience or kind of reached out to them and did that process.
Sure, absolutely. One thing that we are very proud in our team, just not only in Remington, but Lone Star and Global Gaming for the corporation that I work, is then we have been able to create a program called the Influentials program, where we, first of all, is measured by, we select a group of our social fans, between 100 and 200 every month, where we reward them based on the cloud, on the sentiment, and the participation than they do with our brand. That has helped us tremendously, and the results we have seen, because when we get these fans engaging, coming to our locations and using our service, our products, I can tell you our impressions alone, they go skyrocket because of having those influential people in our brand. So that's an example of a very good campaign and a really good program that we haven't put in place in 6 months ago, and it's working really well.
I think what I'm hearing here is that you deal in a different world than I deal, which is maybe I'm looking at a few tweets a day, a few mentions, you know. It must be like drinking from the fire hose for you. When something happens, you know, you have 10,000 people at your various locations and they're all talking.
Correct.
So you need big data?
Correct. And I wish, again, it's my fault because I sent the presentation in the last minute. I had some dashboard or social media listening tools that really help us to detect that. And I can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I use Radiant 6, which is my favorite. Radiant 6, basically what it does is it tells you who are your more engaging fans, the cloud that they have. It gives us a little, here you go. Thank you, Adam.
I'll step aside for a second.
Yeah, will you give me the control?
Oh, yeah.
That
now I
sounds
know
like
how
a
you
conversation with my husband. Radiant 6 is fantastic. Again, you can see too well, and I hate that. I need to put higher resolution next time. But you can track a little bit about what people is talking and who are your more engaged ones, fans, also your cloud. Here is one of my favorite ones. I sound like Oprah, no? My favorite things. Adobe Social. Adobe Social is spectacular. You work in a big corporation and you have a little bit of money on your social media budget. I will suggest to invest in Adobe Social. Adobe Social, what it does is they break you all the information on how much it really works and impressions. I know at the end of the month when you guys have to give your reports on your companies, you tell your shareholders, yeah, we have 1 million impressions. They don't understand exactly what 1 million impressions means. Adobe Social, what it does is it breaks it by money. It does a little bit of formula. It gets how much you spend, how much it means by demographics, and it breaks it really well. Also, it gives you can set up campaigns where you can say a specific what kind of fans do you want to reach, what we were talking about. The other one is a simple measure it. It's a little bit expensive too, but
how much is a little bit expensive, roughly?
Starting at $1,000.
Starting at $1,000 a month?
And you have and you have up to 10 accounts, and you can plug in on your social media. You can go over 2 million mentions because they will charge you a little bit more, but it breaks the information really easy. And when you ask me about big data or just data, yeah, this is key on my daily day. Every morning when I wake up, I have my coffee, data is extremely important. So these tools can really help you.
Yeah.
And if any of you use any of those tools, I will suggest every day to spend at least an hour because data changes so constantly. And as I mentioned before, it's so much talking. And it's very easy for other brands to take your fans away from you if you are not analyzing constantly that data. Yeah. This is something that I say, I really love this. I found this on Forbes magazine 2 days ago, and this is so true. Say, listening tools can help companies determine social media ROI in terms of real financial impact. That is only works if consumer sentiment is part of a more holistic marketing mix model. You're going to hear this year that word a lot, marketing mix model, and I will suggest to you all to start looking a little bit more about marketing mix model because this is one of the newest trends in the digital world. And it's all focused on sentiment, for you as a brand to know what people are saying on all the review sites, what people are saying and in your social media sites. We did in Remington in Lone Star Park, we found that we get a lot, because we are in the gaming industry, we get a little bit of negative reviews because of the aspect of our industry.
Because people lose sometimes.
Correct. So we did a large research on what people were saying in every single review site, and we claim every single review site, and because it really was we were getting really bad rates online. Just to give you an example, on Google Plus, we were only 2.5. And when we did that, and started reaching to people, even then they left a comment, and they left a review a year before, we saw then our reviews started to improve a little more. And we start seeing again people, and they left the facility before because they had a bad experience, to give us a second chance.
So what specifically were you doing to these people to make them give you a
We
second
claim
chance?
every review site, every single review site in the web.
So you see the bad comment and you respond
Correct.
to it?
We respond to every single comment, to everything. Even people then left comments 2 years ago. And we asked basically to them to give us a second chance, let them know. Then there were so many changes and so many upgrades in our facility, and that really helps tremendously our brand. And I will suggest to everybody here to claim your sites everywhere in the web. If it's Yale or TripAdvisor, every single big one and a small one, then you can see it, and they can come up when you look it up in your first 5 pages on Google. I mean, claim it. You need to take authority, because that takes away, if you don't claim the sites, it takes away your marketing messages. And you need to have the chance to communicate with your fans.
Yeah. So I have one more question, which is that it strikes me that you're dealing with this big data in a way that few of us are. But when it comes down to it, how do you take all of that data and actually action things, prioritize and action things? You might be looking at, I would assume, 100 little conversations. And doesn't your mind just melt?
You made a good point. You know, you get this big data, and when you think about big data, you think, all these names, numbers. And big data is, to me, big data is how smart you are about getting that information and make it really small, in the sense of creating, identifying individuals. And I know I talk and I mentioned that in the slide number 4, and the second part when you say analyze. That is a critical step. You went from the first one where it's collecting, and you're looking at everything that is happening, every mention online, and you get the analyze part, where is when you say, okay, I really have, my brand has 100 really good influential people, and they love and engage with us. I need to take care of these people, because at the end of the day, these are the ones, these are the influencers, these are the people, then they are going to get the word out. So at the end of the day, when we create campaigns and we are able to bring people like that, influencers, and you see the results. And it reflects on your ROI, it reflects on your numbers, it reflects on all your reports that you have.
I'm going to be greedy and ask you one more question. So,
sure.
You're looking at this, you've got your influencers. Let's say somebody with 10,000 followers starts coming to the track and they talk about it a lot. You identify them as somebody who is influential.
Correct.
And then what do? How do you engage them? How do you improve what they say?
You asked me for my secret recipe.
I found it.
Don't tweet it. So that's part of the big data. Through social media, through a lot of sweepstakes that you do on social media, and I really recommend everybody here, in every sweepstakes that you do, please ask for email, please ask for age, please ask for first and last name. What happens is when I bring those 100 influencers, and you just mentioned in the example, I have already all their information and I have been able to collect. So what happens is after they get in the door, they have a wonderful time. I already got their emails. So I'm able to connect back with them and send an email and say, hey, thank you so much for joining us. We love your support. We'll appreciate if you can leave a comment, a review on TripAdvisor, on Google
Yeah.
Plus. And that's the way how we engage with it. And everybody here loves giving their opinion. And influential people love saying what they think.
So do you have like a benchmark of how influential somebody has to be? So
Absolutely.
if you were in the audience here and you want a red carpet experience at Remington Park, how many followers do you have to have?
I don't believe, you asked me, David, 2 days ago to add some slides to the presentation.
Right, and then I removed them
No.
for everybody.
But in a conference that I gave 1 year ago, I made big focus on the number of likes and followers. That is not anymore.
Yeah.
You don't want to end up in your brand. You don't want a branding has 1 million followers and you only have 10 people talking about your brand.
Right.
So to me, the key here is if you are engaging with your fans, let's say you hashtag or tag Remington Park or any other locations for our team to at least acknowledge and do a favor to like you or let you know them we saw that. That is what keeps engaging going.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. And what happened with everybody's brand today, and I was guilty many years ago of that, is then I didn't engage too much with our community. You have to take at least 1 hour, 2 hours of your day and go through every social media network. If somebody mentioned you, like it, favorite, let them know, hey, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again. If they post a negative comment, you have to at least move things fast and let them know in less than an hour, then you are going to be on top of that.
So if somebody mentions you online, it's kind of like a high five, and you don't want to leave somebody hanging, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's kind of a negative experience.
Absolutely. And I made a representation when I came here to the stage. People is constantly checking. I know every one of you are right now checking your Twitter, your Facebook, how many people is talking about you, how many people retweet your tweets from Confluence, and that's how we are.
Yeah.
And you have to acknowledge people. Again, it goes back when it say about Maya Angelou, she said, people will forget what you do, people will forget what you say, but people will never forget how you make them feel.
Yeah.
And that is so true.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the floor? Hi.
Well, and that's a good point. Sometimes you find the complainers. Those ones that they bitch about everything. They bitch about the sun, the rain. Oh my God, this is that. Yeah. So you have to do a little bit of research when you find those. If you find a profile, then it's very positive about many brands, and it was negative about you. It's telling you then that really that fan had a really bad experience. Not only because they maybe lost money, but the service and everything else have a big effect. So when we find those profiles, not the bitchy one, we can leave it alone a little bit, but we have it in a file saying, hey, we need to keep looking because this may get into a PR disaster. Yeah. So we pay attention very close to those ones, but this one here, that we know that it's positive and really had a bad experience and posted online, we contact them. And one thing that we did, and I'm very proud of our team, we put together a kind of emergency manual response, and where we have all the answers, all the scenarios. What happens if this person complains about the food? What happens if this person complains? What would you respond between 1 hour and 2 hours? Who should we contact in our company to get a clarification of the issue, or who in our company should be contacting this fund? And it works really good. It works great because it has helped us tremendously to not have a PR disasters. We had one really bad 2 years ago, and we learned then if we had done that before, a little bit more strategy and planning, we will not have that ugly, horrible PR that we have for a whole week.
I won't ask you to drag up
don't
old
ask
ghosts.
it, and I don't want to talk about the person either.
Any other questions? One final question? Randy.
Correct. In our industry, most people, a good cloud score is around 55, 60, 65. But we also not only look the cloud, but also a lot of sentiment and participation. If we notice, let's say, then we have a fan on Facebook, then constantly engaging, liking, and leaving comments, that is an influencer. That's somebody that we really take care on our brand. And we are sure that we reward them with programs.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.